Welcome to TTS, Tom's Tech Show, and today we're talking about Captain Marvel and Endgame and how the two are working together or not working together. And a post from Reddit, I was watching some of Tim Pool's commentary on it. I want to add a few notes of my own, and so let's just dig into it. Hey there, welcome to Tom's Tech Show. Today, talking about Captain Marvel and Endgame, and a post that we found. I was watching one of Tim Pool's channels, and he was talking about this post on Reddit about what's going on kind of behind the scenes. We know that they moved Captain Marvel to International Women's Day. We know that they moved Endgame up, I think, a few weeks so they can get it in April, so they can use the A for Avengers in April and stuff like that. But maybe there's something else. I mean, this is the closest two Marvel movies have been released to each other since they started doing them and started doing the 2 and 3 movies per year. So I wanted to kind of go over this post here. And take it for what it is. It's off of 4chan, and it's not been confirmed that this is someone who works for Disney or anything else. It's kind of written that way. So we can take it for what it is at face value. It could be true, could not be true, but it makes sense. So let's kind of go over it here. This is first of all the very first day I joined the project. The title was always Endgame, and I heard from the directors themselves the title was set years ago. Okay, so, and they talk about Captain America 2 and Civil War, Avengers 3 and 4. There was always that story arc, and we could see that in how the production went. But so the Russo brothers and McPhee and Marcus didn't want to include Captain Marvel on Infinity War and Endgame. So this statement right here just tells me there's some kind of division and conflict inside of either Marvel or Disney pushing this down. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a Kevin Feige thing because he seems to typically not give in to that in all of the other movies over the past 10 years that we've seen. That has not been the case. Right, it just hasn't been in there. We got, great female characters in the movies, Black Widow, Scarlet Witch, and Shuri, and all these things, great characters, that really have, good backstory, are interesting and fun, and don't come out and attack the audience, basically. So it says they felt the story deserved to end up with the original characters, but Disney and Marvel Studios desperately wanted to include Carol Danvers on Avengers Infinity War. The idea was to later give her own original movie boosted by the Avengers. So they wanted the Infinity War to lead into it. Well, they kind of did in the post-credit scene where they had the little pager with all the stuff attached to it that allowed them to contact Captain Marvel. So that they may have wanted more, but so here in this post it says naturally they had an argument that ended up with both sides making concessions. So they excluded Captain Marvel from Infinity War, but had to include the character in Endgame. Just to shut off this matter, Captain Marvel rant we are seeing today was expected by Disney. Their social media numbers projected Captain Marvel movie to face challenges, and they ordered from everyone involved to be prepared for 2 cuts of the film. One with the original Captain Marvel plan, and another cutting down the character's participation in case Captain Marvel flops. This created huge conflicts between Brie Larson's agency and Marvel Studios. Of course, Brie Larson is going to be whining about it because she wants to take over, which just means the more she's involved, I think the less people are going to want to see it. So they went as far as to shoot the very same scenes with Captain Marvel again with Captain America and Black Widow. So what we're ending up with is, depending on how Captain Marvel does in the box office, that's going to determine what Endgame movie we get. We have an Endgame movie that has heavy Captain Marvel, and we have an Endgame movie that is more Captain America, Black Widow, which I would prefer, and I think a lot of people out there would prefer. So maybe this is, again, with this being out there, true or not, I mean, it could be true, it could be false, it could be something someone made up, but again, this is another reason to not go see this film. Here it says, returning to the movie, the leaks weren't 100% accurate and they'll never be on the final movie. They changed a lot of the script on the fly. Shooting the movie in 4 parts faced many challenges, like to keep the actors on their superhero shape, but it allowed them to do fine-tuning. Plus, the fake script is a real thing, and they can trace back to the source of leak by content and the general idea where it originated from. So they're doing the same thing that they're doing on Star Wars, is people get fake scripts and then they're, like Apple does that. They have people work on fake products and then they see, they put new people on the fake products and then see if those fake products are leaked, and then they know who and where the leakers came from to find out who to trust in the company. And they're doing the same thing in these movies. So I'm thinking that with the debacle now of Rotten Tomatoes, and that them removing the I don't want to see this movie or not interested, although you can still go over to Geeks and Gamers and hit the button and say you're not interested. It's on the front page. Just scroll down about halfway through. Geeks and Gamers, just hit you're not interested there, because they're keeping track. I mean, that's what's going to happen. Now you're getting other people keeping track. And the problem is the people that are motivated to push the not interested button on all these other websites are the people that you've alienated by removing their 33 to 40,000 not interested votes on Rotten Tomatoes. So you're really setting yourself up for a failure. They're setting themselves up to basically crash the movie on their own. If they would have come out and given Brie Larson strict marching orders like, you keep your mouth shut, you be positive about the film, you be as inclusionary in all of your speak as possible, and maybe we need to go back and reshoot some scenes with you smiling or having some kind of emotion, then people would go and see it. But they've basically sabotaged themselves by this. So, which I guess is fine. Maybe it's the Russo brothers who've been whispering in people's ears saying, let's, maybe some people on their team are trying to trash Captain Marvel so that they can make sure to put out the version of Endgame that they want, which includes Captain America and Black Widow doing most of the scenes. So, politically behind the scenes here, this is just ending up being a huge mess. I don't know. I haven't seen any statements come out or interviews with Kevin Feige about it lately. He's typically mostly positive about everything that's going on. But we'll see. I'm not going to go see the movie when it comes out. If we go to, and we're going to try and get tickets to the El Capitan Theater for the Endgame Marathon, we will have to sit through it, I guess, then. But that box dollar won't count that much towards the actual box for the film. I mean, you're only going to have 4 weekends to know. I mean, the first weekend may be big for Captain Marvel. It probably will be the 80 million number, and then the next weekend, most movies usually drop 50%, but by then you would have gotten all the SJWs and the women's people and all them will be out and not be seeing it multiple times. So all that will be out. So it'll probably have a 70% drop, in the second weekend, which gets it, down to 20. So, and then after that, it's just down to the bottom from there. I mean, I'm no expert on box office numbers, but you kind of have a feeling basically from what's going to be good and what's going to be bad. And so far, all this looks, I mean, you look at the tweets that have come out so far, everybody's only talking about the cat. And when that's the best thing in your movie, you've done something completely wrong. So, I mean, we've had other good, movies, like, Wonder Woman and movies like that have good, incredible female characters. And Gal Gadot, when she was out promoting the film, she was positive, she was up, she was just amazed, she was, wonderful. I mean, it's just a completely different attitude from these two lead actresses. I think they really picked the wrong person to lead the role. I mean, she had a few things, that if she's going to be in it for 10 years, which I'm hoping no, I think they need to move and put the MCU move like Spider-Man, Tom Holland, who was just an incredible kid. I'm just telling you. He was at the Infinity War marathon when we were watching Spider-Man, and he came out, he was wonderful to the audience. He comes out and he says, so I haven't seen this since it premiered last, so I'm going to come out in the audience and I'm going to watch it with you. So he stayed for about 2/3, I would say, of the film in the audience with everybody else, watching the film with everybody. I mean, and at some low part, he got up and said, thanks everybody, I'm heading out, enjoy the rest of the movie, and everybody cheered and clapped for him and everything. Just a great kid. I think they really picked completely the right person to play Spider-Man, because he's great. He's got energy, and he's just positive and all that. So, but for this Captain Marvel movie, I think it's going to be a skip. And like I said, you can go to Geeks Gamers and put your not interested vote in, and we'll see. I mean, I don't see it doing very well. I see it kind of tanking. It's definitely tanking among the fans right now that I can see, but we'll see when the day gets here. I mean, I checked the seats in the theaters around me, and they're not filling up. I mean, you can still buy a ticket Friday, Saturday, and still get a good seat. Sunday, the seats all open, and then after that, for the rest of the week, there's any seat you want, which wasn't the case in Infinity War. I mean, it was hard to get tickets that weekend completely. So, all right. Well, comment about this. I mean, if you've seen other information, comment, leave links, leave whatever you need down below. Like this video. And subscribe to my channel. I do videos like this and photography and technology and things like that, just out of my back bedroom here. So in the house, just things on my mind and need to talk about them. All right. So thanks for watching. See you.